SlabHub.
Hey there, comic book friends and fiends. It's Rob here in front of the Great Wall of Comics. Chris, the comic book vet, could not make it today. He's smuggling underage comics across the Canadian border to Comic Book Fight Club or some such weird stuff. But have no fear, you don't have to see me all by myself. I brought in my friend and I co-host for him on 1011 and the usual suspects, Mr. Gary B, the casual comic guy. How you doing today, Gary?
I am doing wonderful, Rob. Super happy to make my SlabHub co-hosting debut. Thank you so much for asking me. I, of course, am no Chris the comic vet, but I shall do my best to fill his shoes.
There you go. Well, you already did better because you have a background. So,
Right.
and joining us this week, our guest, back again, making his fourth appearance because we love him, not because we're that desperate for people, I swear. Mancave Comics. Doc, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Rob, and great to be on with you, Gary. That's a little cherry on the top there.
Well, thank you,
I don't
Doc.
use too many food references on a SlabHub.
We do have the today. I understand we have a theme. It's a little more unique set of comics, maybe, or non-mainstream, or
Right.
how would you describe it? Yeah.
There's so many great comics out there. Not everything's going to be, super expensive, crazy keys and ancient golden age comics. This is sort of, I was thinking about it. It's almost an homage to my love of the Valiant series. Were either of you fans of the Valiant comics?
No, and we're not going to launch into the books just yet. Just to warn you here, but I just wanted to kind of tease the people here that we got.
Sure. I'll continue at the next stop. You keep going. You think I know by now?
Well, no, it's all right. Hey, and for everyone who's joining us, welcome to SlabHub. If you've never seen the show, I don't know where you've been, but welcome. And what we're going to do is Doc's going to take us on a journey into a section of his collection, sharing off some of his slabbed, graded comic books. Along the way, if you have any questions about any of the books you see, or just questions about grading comic books in general, by all means, feel free to pop it into the comments, and we will address it for you. Along the way, we're going to pause about halfway through the show, and we have a box full of comic books, which we'll be doing our 6 random or minimum of 6 books to pay on. There's prizes for extra pulls and SlabHub swag and comic vet keychains and other stuff. We'll do the pull prizes, and then of course we'll do another set of pull prizes at the end of the show. While we're at it, let's see. Anything else I want to talk about? No, I think we'll just go ahead and fire up the show. Let's say hello to a few people. What the heck? Because it's time I need to make the romper room mirror. Damn it. I keep forgetting. Let's Crucius from New Mexico. How you doing there? Gene, thank you. Cat Fan Comics Man. Chop and Drop. That's like my own usual suspects. Flo. Yes, it's SlabHub time. Let's see. Let's Crucius Chop and Drop saying hello to everyone. Blue Hellions Comics. How you doing? James Willie, how you doing? Congratulations on your win the other day with Soul Twice there. Picking up wins all over the place. Stephen C. Jason never could figure it out. Word. Ruben. James Willie, Kevin, everyone saying hello. Jason Johnson, the king of all nerds, Taylor Winder. Slab yo mama. Indeed, we do. And let's see, James Joe, Anachronic Comics. How you doing there, sir? Joe was. Are you back in New York, Joe? I know you were leaving Florida. So if you make it back up to New York yet or not? Probably did. Big Dave loves comics. We all love comics too, and we love you too, Big Dave. Thanks for coming on by. All right. I think that's we got everybody there at least right. Yeah, he's back in New York. All right, perfect, awesome. Let's go ahead and then move Doc to the position of power. Oh, And
dominatrix, dare I say? No.
and
no leather, no chains, but I do have comics. So.
Well, that works with the shirt you have on. It could be the Sue Storm dominatrix, right?
That's right. Oh yeah.
with the malice entity,
Yes.
yes. And of course, you got to cut out the 4.
Yeah,
Right?
Not going to work.
Gotta get the man cleavage going.
We don't want to bring people down. We want to bring people up. You know what I'm saying? So
No leather, no chains. I'm out.
maybe later too.
Right.
But yeah, today, as I was alluded to, I'm going a little different. Not to me, these are big comics, but they're a little less valuable, but they're still cool. And Rob and Gary, I didn't hear that. Did you like Valiant titles or no? I know that it's like a lot of people like them. Some people don't.
It was always a hole for me. I never got into Valiant. Like
Right.
I was always curious about the Dell age of Turok, not so much the Valiant age. I know
Right.
that Turok's like a big joke there. Plus, you got Solar Man of the Atom and Exo Man of War, and a couple of those. I think they have some cool character designs. But as far as reading them, I never have.
Well, it was a good series, and it actually got me back into the old. So that being said, I have 0 Valiant slabs here. It's all characters that I got back into with Valiant and learned to love through Valiant, and retroactively really got to admire these comics. So
Yeah, I was not a Valiant guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a niche thing. So I think I will start.
But then most people know I'm not much of an independent guy.
I'll just start. I will start prehistoric. Why not? We'll go from. So the first, the one we all love to make fun of is Turok here.
Yeah.
But not those beautiful painted covers. That's gorgeous.
Give me a sec. I got to turn off the light because it's annoying me.
No worries.
So say something.
Say something interesting, quick.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
We'll make him less pronounced right there for right
Well,
a second.
with Joe back in town, he will be making a 10-1-1
Sorry,
appearance in
that
June.
light was reflecting right on the. I had
Yeah,
a light on I don't usually have on, and it just was killing it.
That's what I found the same problem with certain things in the afternoon. I get more sunlight coming in and
Right. So this is actually a 4-color 596 from 1954. It's the first appearance of Turok.
Oh,
there you go.
And
what a grade for that year.
yeah, it's a beautiful painted cover. I like the obviously Turok in a cave watching two Tyrannosaurus Rex fighting, and Turok called them runners, which is interesting because back in the 50s they thought of Tyrannosaurus Rex as a slow, lumbering carrion eater, but it was only much later that they realized the Tyrannosaurus Rex actually probably can go short spurts really fast. So the runner was maybe prescient. I don't know, but a good old Dell comic. It was always a child-friendly comic, and but great painted covers, good stories for kids. They weren't really great adult stories, but and Las Cruces, just so you know, this was inspired by I'm forgetting the original creative team actually off the top of my head, but it was inspired by a trip to Carlsbad Caverns in New Mexico. And the actual origin story is Turok and Ander got lost in Carlsbad Caverns. They were pre-Columbian Indians, didn't have any association with colonials or anything like that, and they got stuck.
When I see that cover, it has a Land of the Lost vibe to me.
Yeah, totally. Right. Totally. So that is probably the biggest of that run. And here's a second 4-color comic. So we call it Turok #2, but it's 556, 1955.
Yeah, somebody alert Scott from Hoarder's Hide. The 4 colors are out.
Yep.
And I do love their old painted covers. They're gorgeous.
Oh, yeah. They're beautiful, beautiful covers. This is Bob Correa. He did a bunch of the covers.
And the oranges in contrast to the blues on that are amazing.
Yeah. And this is, they called the pterodactyls flyers. So
is that a 9070? Okay. I was well, I'm digging my head like I can see up underneath the front.
Yep. And Turok gets a lot of flack, but the OG Turok is beautiful.
No, I think that only people who really give Turok flack they always mean the Valiant Turok, and not nobody I've ever heard give us Turok Del Turok.
Right. And truth be told, probably my least favorite storyline was the Turok storyline in Valiant. I love the Magnus and the Solar storyline, the XO. Those were excellent. I highly recommend it. But Turok, not so good. Whereas Turok I loved Dinosaurs as a kid, so one of my first comics was
Who didn't?
Turok, yeah.
Well, okay, if you were born before 1980, what little kid didn't frickin' play with dinosaurs?
Cowboys and Indians and dinosaurs. So it was a great combination of
and that's a great rampaging cover.
Yeah. And this is the first Turok in his own title. So this is Turok number 3, but it is the first. So it's off of 4
It's no longer the 4-color.
That's right.
The Turok, yeah.
And this would be a rammer. So Triceratops, they called them rammers. So
which always makes it fun when you're cataloging comics and trying to keep track of them. When a book starts off, when it's under part of it's under the 4-color banner, and then the series continues under its own title, and you're trying to figure out where exactly it goes. Yeah, right. Good times. Thanks a lot, Del.
Yeah, they did that kind of stuff a lot. In
Cat Fan says he was playing with transforming dinosaurs. All right.
This is one of my favorite covers, and this is a pretty high grade, 9.2. But again, that land
pretty high grade.
That Land of the Lost appeal.
Yeah,
definitely. With the volcano in the background as well.
Yep. And I just love this one. And I skipped number 4 because I showed that on the first episode. That's where he's fighting a woolly mammoth. But this is number 5. Just beautiful cover. I had it in the lower grade. Then I saw this and upgraded and gifted the lower grade one to, I'm not sure to who. I can't remember.
Yeah, you could definitely see Sid and Marty Krofft reading those and then coming up with their Land of the Lost.
Yeah. Yeah. Turok.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
See, I'm a huge Kong fan. That's amazing. Just the giant ape.
Yeah. So it's not all dinosaurs. You got some prehistoric mammals as well, and then you got the you'll have some.
What's the information on the right of that slab? What's the information in the blue?
It's the origin of Lost Valley inside cover text featuring Gaylord Dubois. He's the guy who came up with Turok, I believe. He's one of the main. And so yeah, this is a sweet cover. Turok and Ander.
Yeah, so this is one of those things with these types of brands we talk about where it's so hard to know. If you're trying to sit there and say what's the value of something that's really so hard to do, because I just did a quick look on it, and there's so few that are. I mean, the entire census for CGC on that blue census is only 29 units, right?
Right.
So there's not a lot of sales to begin with, and when you're talking about above a 9, that is one of seven books above at a 9.0 or higher. So the last sale that's logged is like at a 9.0 is from 2007. So all you can do is go, well, probably 2007 you could probably double that at least. So maybe it's about an $800 book because it was about a $388 sale.
You might be surprised if it was on auction, unless if there's another person who wants a high grade tour, it can go up high. Otherwise, you usually get a pretty good deal.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, right? It all depends on who's looking for it at that moment.
Yeah.
So you see, Doc, I'm the simple guy here. I'm looking at that book. Value never even entered my brain. I was just like, that is a beautiful cover. Look at the paint job.
That absolutely is right, Gary. You're right, but I like to every once in a while on this show. I just like to take a look when we're looking at some of this stuff and go, okay, well, what is for somebody who is interested goes, wow, I really like these. If I wanted to get into these, what is this? What would this kind of get me into? The reality of the situation is you can get into these, especially if you can find them raw. And
if you're patient, you go on eBay. You want a raw version of any of these, except for maybe the very first appearance. It's going to be cheap.
Yeah.
And
I
you know,
probably
the
like
first appearance of Torok is not going to be overly expensive for compared to anything else you can think of too.
yeah, you're really
Right.
talking probably talking based on what I'm seeing here on some of the even the
Yeah.
slab stuff. You know, a 4.5 slabbed sold last year for $70. So
Right.
you're talking about, you know, raw books. You're talking about you're picking up mid grades $30 to $70.
At my LCS, they actually have a whole box of Torok that are raw, and a good amount of the Dell ones. Not it became gold key at number 30, and they're not expensive. Yeah,
No.
but I have the ones I
8 to
want
10
already.
bucks for around here usually.
What's that?
Said 8 to 10 bucks around here usually
Yeah.
for the old.
Yeah, and
models.
LCS be even less. I'm thinking eBay prices, but sorry.
Yeah, LCS 8 to 10. That's right. Here's another
Ooh.
excellent cover.
Oh,
Torok and they're fighting a Stegosaurus. If you guys know your dinosaurs.
yep.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
that was one of my favorites as a kid.
Yep. And this is a little different background. It talks about the Dimetrodon here, so it gives you a little educational vibe. You know, Dell was into that.
There you go. Now Scott's here. Scott, you missed it when he was doing the four
Sweet.
colors, unless you were here at the beginning.
Now, what did they call that one in the series? You said they had the runners, the flyers, the.
You know, I don't know. I don't know what the Stegosaurus is called. I don't know. That's a good question. Good question.
Don't sit on his tail.
Right.
This one, I believe they called Sea Demons or the like, and this is one of my favorite covers. Torok didn't need much. He just needed
Wow.
a knife, and he's gonna.
I don't know about you. I'm a sucker for a good underwater fight.
Yep. This is look at those teeth. I mean,
A mouthful
And,
of teeth against one sharp knife.
that's right, and that's a plesiosaur, not a dinosaur, but more of a marine reptile,
Right.
and pretty awesome cover.
Now the plesiosaurs, aren't those what all like the Loch Ness myths are based on?
Yep.
Because where I'm from in Plattsburgh, New York, we had Champy, who was our version of Loch Ness.
Gotcha. Yeah. Nice.
Because he was in Lake Champlain. Yeah.
I discussed the
Oh.
Dimetrodon. Well, here we have a Dimetrodon here. Beautiful painted cover.
That is a great angle too.
Yeah. And Dimetrodon was not a dinosaur either. He predated dinosaurs. He's a pelycosaur, just
Ah.
really old, 250 million. Last dinosaur died 65 million years ago. Humans have been around about 1 million years. So just to give you an idea.
And a good fire cover too.
Oh yeah, there's some good
fire in the
fire.
Well, that just
background.
depends on what part of the country you're from, though, Doc.
Turok has
That is
nowhere to
true.
go.
That is true. and our sort of like the Robin of Turok. He's usually being rescued or just standing there. He's not.
Here,
You know.
stand here. Let this dinosaur charge at you. Then I'll
Right.
come and get it.
As a matter of fact, issue number 8, Turok actually got out of this place to his home, but Andar was hurt and couldn't make it, so he went back and got stuck there for good with Andar. So, just
Oh,
this
nice.
is one of the more popular covers. It took me a long time to actually get this one. 2 Tyrannosaurus Rex fighting, I guess, is popular, and they're
Well,
just
God, there was a classic movie that was it's an old black and white. It's
So,
just,
is it a million BC, Rob?
it could be, yeah.
it might be. I'm trying to remember. It's back. I'm trying to remember from my film studies back when I was a film major, radio, television, and film major in college, and that was years ago. And so my memory is like a steel colander. It's full of holes, and it's
Speaking of
Very
Tyrannosaurus Rex
Harryhausen.
and fire covers, this is
nice.
Well,
this
look at the
cover
T-Rex
shadow
was
work on that,
T-Rexes
Doc.
were just the king when for us.
Yeah.
It was like that was like
trapped inside the Valley of the Vines. Now, this cover was also redone for a Turok one-shot giant size comic number 1, and I don't have that, but it's the exact same cover basically.
And the shadow work on that's amazing.
Oh yeah, and this is Mo Golub cover. So these are just beautiful. Draw me.
man.
Draw me like one of your French girls.
Here's one of the rare Brontosauri. I forget the the pachyderms, like
the true name, the sauropods.
the sauropod. Thank you, the sauropod. So
Yeah,
you know,
back when we all called them brontosaurus, but there's no such
yep,
dinosaur really
that's
as a
right. That's right.
brontosaurus. We
This was
find out
called the
now.
brontosaurus back when this was written, but he was renamed the apatosaurus. And but I mean, just look at the art. It's just a great rendition.
And the scale is amazing on it.
Yeah. I love this cover.
They had to shrink down the dinosaur actually to make it give it some scale, I guess.
And the shadow in the water of them too is great.
Yeah,
and I imagine these really caught kids' eyes just to cover. The inside art mediocre, stories okay, mediocre, good kids stories, but really all the real energy and went into these covers.
They were DJ Dinosaurs were the shit, and you just hoped that the poor Turok never stepped in any.
Yeah, that could be a big load.
Matt Wood says he misses calling it a brontosaurus.
Yeah. Make Pluto
I
a planet again, and make the brontosaurus a dinosaur again.
Right? I think when my youngest was getting into dinosaurs as a young boy, and I made some comment, he was the first one to correct me and say, "Dad, there are no such things as brontosauruses."
Yeah. So
where are the Flintstones? God damn you! I get my brontosaurus ribs and my Bronto burger.
So here's the Lilliputian sort of.
I was just gonna say that's a very Gulliver's Travels.
Yeah. So it wasn't all, and this is really where the Andar being helpless is. It starts, I think, in full. So I'm just gonna run through. These are just all great.
Dinosaurs were replaced by Minecraft.
Right.
That's true.
Wow.
T-Rex cover, volcano in the background.
I like the expression on the T-Rex's face.
Yeah. He does look he has a lot, that has a sinister
look.
That's
the dinner time look.
Yeah. It's like, what do we got here? The other one I skipped was number 12 because Chris, the comic vet, had that, and I also showed it earlier too. So, and he's not here anyway. So,
Cole just said it just took me this long to realize Gary B was here.
I love this cover. To me, it has great perspective. You got a thrown spear in the background, cavemen coming at them. They're climbing up, scaling a cliff. And
again, I don't know what the paint there, whatever they were using back then to color the stuff, but the blues back then were amazing.
Yeah, these to me it really dropped off. If you have gold key Turok, the painted covers dropped off in quality quite a bit.
There's something about also the paper and the inks that they were using because when a lot of the painted covers especially, but even some of the non-painted covers, when you get to them from this era, it was just quality paper and ink, and it wasn't necessarily about using the cheapest garbage they could print off the press. Taylor says all toxic inks. Probably true. All the good stuff had lead and mercury in it.
Yeah,
we all know that. Yeah.
There was definitely different in manufacturing.
Now that one has a good journey to the center of the earth, Jules Verne feel to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love the back cover on this one. This was look at that. These frisky fudgy.
Yeah. Hey, I thought this was a family show.
Really? With a name Hub in it? You thought it was a family show? Gary, you obviously haven't been watching my channel.
I know, right? Frisky Fudgy on the kids' book.
Things meant a little bit different back then. Remember back when Shellhead needed a good dick?
Right?
Or a solid dick. I mean, whatever it was.
So here we got the alligators or crocodiles, and they existed almost very similar to what they were 65 plus 250 million years ago is what they are now. So pretty hardy animal.
Right.
And
that is really cool.
Andar are being rescued. So Andar looks sort of beefed up there, like he's been lifting. I don't know. Maybe that's my.
Well, I think if you were living that hard life, he's not laying around on the couch. So
That's right.
Ooh,
there you go.
Yeah.
that's almost
Yeah.
like a sword and sorcery cover there.
I
You got
found
a
a woman.
damsel in distress. You got Turok. You got a beast behind him.
The Paeta cover is if John's still in the crowd. John Comics with Kids. That's a favorite category for comic-gories.
Oh,
Yeah.
They found a girl. See you later, Andar.
Now this is probably not even a pterodactyl. It's probably a Quetzalcoatl, which is the biggest flying dinosaur.
Your dinosaur knowledge is astounding, sir.
it is.
Even if the artist didn't mean for it to be a Quetzalcoatl, I call it one. So,
Fantastic.
yeah, I love this cover. I mean, the oranges, the poor Andar. I mean, starting at when that issue where the Lilliputians had him, he was just pretty much being rescued most covers.
Andar seems like that generation's Spider-Man, where in every cover he's in peril.
Yeah.
So are these covers mostly done by the same artist, or
no? They're done by a bunch of different artists actually. This one's Alberto Giolotti, but there's Golub, Correa. There were
there's a team that's on it.
Yeah, there are different artists. Yeah. This one would be Giolotti again.
Oh,
I think Turok personally put dinosaurs into extinction with the bow and arrow. I don't think it was a comet.
Well, you know what's cool about these is what we're missing, that the artists are doing very well, is that the creatures that they're painting really have a realism to them and a sense of a real presence of threat to the character on the cover.
Yeah.
A sense of scale and threat, and it's.
I mean, you think about it, you're like, even though he's got his bow and arrow out, you're like, yeah, dude, you're in some deep doo-doo.
That's gonna go about half an inch into that thick hide. He won't even feel it.
So if you actually read Turok, they do take out Tyrannosaurus Rex with that bow and arrow, man.
Well, because if you've ever gone bow hunting and hit something with an arrow and watch it keep on going,
yeah,
you think about the dinosaur going, yeah, please.
Here we got a double jeopardy. We got Andar being eaten by some kind of carnivorous plant, and a dinosaur also looming above him. So
it's like going hunting for rhinos with pins and needles.
Poor Andar, he's just there to be rescued every issue.
Yeah.
Turok needs a howitzer. Well, all the howitzers are on their way to Ukraine right now.
Yeah, this is probably a Liplurodon or something like that. A very large. We're afraid of sharks, but the things they had in the water back in the prehistoric times were pretty scary. So,
and that's a solid raft. It's going to keep them afloat, not falling into the water too. I mean,
and Andar's actually doing something. He's going to hit that sucker with that paddle there. I think
he could almost eat the raft and them in one bite.
Then he'll let go the paddle, and it'll be up a creek without a paddle.
Dinosaur diets. I don't think it was.
They didn't have little dinosaur facts on the back, eh?
Sometimes, yep. Sometimes.
That's awesome.
Now we just need a good cracking cover.
I don't think if there is one, it's later. Another alligator. This is Jack Sparling. So if you're familiar with Jack Sparling, who's a very well-known Bronze Age artist for DC, he did a lot of Bronze Age horror. Very good artist, and he actually did this painted cover for Turok. So that's interesting.
Poison-tipped arrows, Pop says. Okay.
Yeah, Jack Sparlin's one of my underrated. He's an underrated Bronze Age horror. So this is my last Turok. So I just ran through these quick, but this is the first Gold Key Turok. So Gold Key took over. This is number 30. Gold Key took over in 1962. Westing Publications had a fallout with Dell, and they became Gold Key. Price went down to 12 cents, and it was 15 cents. That was a criticism of Dell. And if you notice, just one little side fact on Gold Key and Dell, they didn't have the Comics Code Authority. They didn't have to. They had such a good reputation of being kid-friendly that they did not need the Comics Code Authority. that carried on over to Gold Key Comics. And Turok went pretty well, went up to the 1980s, 1982, I believe, became a Whitman title, and then it disappeared and came back in Valiant in various other forms later. But Turok, I have to give homage to Turok because I loved him as a kid.
Yeah, Pops said it was his first book was Turok.
Yeah,
you know what I want to say that was a good run there. Why don't we pause right there after the Turok?
I have 3 dinosaur. I just have to show real quick, Rob, just because I have to give homage to Tor because the very first comic I ever had was the reboot of Tor in 1975, Tor number 1. But that was based off of Joe Kubert's, sorry.
1 million years.
Yeah, so this is the first one, and this is predates Turok by a little bit, 1953. This was actually named 1 million years ago. This is a classic Kubert, Kubert look. And
I'll say that looks like Tor, like his character Tor.
Yeah, it is Tor.
Oh, there we go.
It is Tor. This is the first Tor. This is a St. John's publication. Ooh. And he was actually just a caveman existing in dinosaur time. So they didn't have, humans were not in existence with dinosaurs, but, creative license. But he had this cavemen should be better attitude. He was going around like Kung Fu, trying to help people be better people and fighting dinosaurs. And this is his buddy Chi-Chi, the monkey.
Because I have like the magazines of Tor, and I have a couple little of the series. I never knew that was his first appearance.
Yep. There are only five in this run. And this is number 4. And this is actually the highest graded CGC. One of your guests coming on, TJ the Slab Dragon, he also has an 8.0. So tied for the highest grade. So we share. But as someone pointed out, I have better page quality. So I think.
Oh, well, there you go.
Got the edge, right?
Who pointed, and who might have pointed that one out?
I think it was Boy Who Had 7 pointed it out to TJ.
Was it you?
Yeah, I think someone else noticed it. But that's a great dinosaur cover. And,
it is.
I mean, that shows a lot of motion and And last one, and then we'll have a break, is the last one of the series. He's fighting a saber-tooth tiger.
Oh, wow.
Prehistoric life on Earth. Very nice.
So just a quick
Kubert always has a lot of motion going on in his work.
Yeah, Kubert is one of my favorite artists for Tarzan-like dinosaur guys and Army for any war. Love Kubert.
Nice. Beautiful. All right, guys, let's go ahead and take a pause here, and we will go ahead and get ready to do our first giveaway. So go ahead and hashtag Turok in the string there, and Turok will be the first time it's been trending as a hashtag in 20 years.
Right.
While you're at it, if you haven't already hit the thumbs up button, if you like the show so far, please consider hitting the thumbs up button, subscribing if you're not a subscriber. Also, don't forget if you haven't been following Gary B, write his, so maybe one of my mods will drop a link in a little bit later for Gary B. We'll make sure we get some subs up over there as Gary's going. Gary, coming up this week, what's on the docket for you, sir?
Well, later today we'll have my Savage Saturday comic review. I think it's either episode 69 or 70. Then we have on Tuesday that you'll be co-hosting with me. We have the Island Boy Manny coming over to be on the 10-1-1 with us. And let me check my calendar because I forgot because I'm an old guy.
Thursday in the hot seat, we'll have somebody. We will have
TM Nerdy. Travis is in the hot seat with us this week.
There you go. Awesome. Perfect. And how about you, Doc? Anything coming up this week? Appearances here and there?
I think I'm just going to be on Biggie's collective show at 8:00 on Friday, which is we just have a guest on and talk about show comics. It's just a very informal thing every other week.
I like to kind of think that this is kind of informal, but I guess not.
I have to actually grab things and put a few things together. But if that's as formal as it gets, I'll take it.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, let's go ahead and do this here. We got 23 entries out of 28 people. As I'm wrapping up, your last chance to get that hashtag Turok in there. Remember, as always, shipping to U.S. and Canada included. International, we'll talk after the show. We'll figure something out to get you your stuff. So don't be hesitant. And we'll go ahead and spin this right about now. And our winner is boom, Tom King. Not the Tom King who writes comic books, but Tom King still, nonetheless. Congratulations, Tom.
Congratulations.
All right, let's find out what we got here. Let me go ahead and do this. Gotta make myself big over here. Let me grab the box of books. All righty then. All right, Doc. We gotta.
All right. How about
you're getting books for Tom? Let's
6 inches from the back?
Oh, guy, I don't really know.
It is
Twice what you give the
now.
wife, Rob.
Yeah, I could have said 12 inches, and then you'd really be
Oh, that I know.
touche.
All right, how about Spider-Man number 34 with the Punisher?
Nice. Punisher
Starting off
plus
strong.
Spider-Man always equals a good time.
All right, next up.
How about 6 inches from the front?
Oh, wow. How about Spider-Man number 49?
Is that Hobgoblin up there?
That is Hobgoblin. And what's more, it's a SlabHub book.
Yeah.
Nice.
There you go.
Congratulations there, Tom.
Yeah, I'm hooking you up, Tom King. I'm hooking you up here.
All right.
Right in the middle.
How about a Walking Dead black bag? We don't know what's in it, but you'll get to find out unless you tell us you want us to open it here, which we can do, or you can get it kept in the poly bag and sent to you just like that. The Skybound black bags, issue 1, it says. I don't know what the hell
Nice.
they're in. But... All right.
The
3
very
more.
first one in the front.
Very first book in the front.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
Forget it. It's ruined. Next one.
No.
It's now a 3.0.
Yeah.
God damn it.
That was a high grade comic. Don't throw your back out there, Bob.
Right?
It damn.
It
It hit flat. It hit flat and it slid on my hardwood floors and it started to go under the bookcase.
Rob, you can check off workout. Done.
That's right. Marvel Tales,
Marvel Tales.
starring
Love it.
Spider-Man. This is kind of a story that was kind of a big deal.
Nice.
So retelling the story, good there.
Nice.
All
Now
right.
the one in the very back, the first one.
Okay, what is this?
Or are we still are we done yet?
No, we're still going. I was just looking at something.
You're on number 4.
No, I was just looking to. I saw some stuff about Rip It or something. I was trying to see if people were if he had said to open the book or not. But all right, so for 4, so they said last book in the run here.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic
Oh,
Four
facsimile.
number 1 facsimile. Congratulations, because these Fantastic Four number 1 facsimile graded as a 9.8. This is over $100 book now. It's
Right,
mind-boggling.
$20 raw now too.
Yeah.
Facsimiles go up over the years. I
Yeah.
mean, look at the golden record.
Even in the bag, no problem, Tom.
Yep.
Yeah, no, actually, I'm really happy because I just came across. So I do get all these facsimiles when they come out, because some of these books, I'm never gonna
Yeah, they're fun to read. I have a bunch of them too.
have them and somewhere else. But I had my AF-15, and the AF-15 facsimile is actually continuing to go up some, but there's 2 variants of it.
Oh, really?
There's one variant that has the barcode on the front cover, and there's a variant that does not have the barcode. And the variant without the barcode is pushing $400.
I'll have to check because I bought that when it was in the LCS. You're
Yeah, well,
talking about the recent one.
Yeah, I came across a copy that doesn't have the barcode. I was able to pick up for cheap, and
Nice.
so I'm happy because that one will have to get graded now because at $400. All right, last book.
All right, up and down a few times. Move that hand, and I'll just say stop right there.
Oh yeah, Matt was talking about the Ultimate Fallout 4. Yeah, that's a problem that comes up. It also happens occasionally with New Mutants 98.
Yeah.
Some of the newer facsimiles where they're so similar, and the price isn't that dramatically different or isn't different at all. And what happens is people will submit them to CGC and
Get a
if
custom label.
well, or what happens is I think sometimes what happens is CGC, if you check it in as just a regular book. I don't know how much checking facsimile they do against that, or if there are people who are doing their quick check and always know. And so they just see it coming, oh, yep, this is a Ultimate Fallout 4, and they move it on, and they don't necessarily
Wow.
do the other. But so yeah, they get mislabeled. They don't get called out as facsimiles on the label.
The other one is when they ask for like a Fantastic Four label, or where it shows they don't have notes on those the blue labels. So they sometimes are missing the information right on the front because they have the Spider-Man logo there. They've done that with some restored grade, because a restored grade comic will go in, they'll ask for Spider-Man, and they'll put a blue label and just say restored in the corner. They've switched that. They've stopped that now, but they'd screwed. People were brutal, were abusing that for sure.
Yeah. All right. So let me pull it out here. We have Spider-Man 2099 issue number 5 from the volume 3 of Spider-Man 2099. There you are.
Now that's a SlabHub cover.
Fighting crime before his time. I love
that. One of the most underrated characters in comics.
Rob, I've heard you like that guy, right?
I was a Spider-Man 2099 fan before most people were even thinking about it. Now it's kind of trendy.
Yeah.
It's really funny because it's gotten to the point where like some of the price on some of the books, like the stupid Toy Biz version, is gone up so much that it even had me thinking about, should I get rid of it? Of course, then I noticed the other day that the number of books on census for it have doubled. So people are pulling them out of everywhere they can now to get them done, because it's now selling for over $2,500. So all of a sudden, they're pouring out. Tom, make sure that you ping me through IG at robs.fatstax, so I have your information. I think I might have sent you something before, but just in case, please ping me so we can get you your books and your mug sent out to you. All right. I think with that, it's time to get back into some more books. So we will put Doc back up in the position of power. Good for you, Matt. Congratulations. But which volume? Or are you saying you have all the volumes? Because
I'm sure he has all. Matt's a pretty serious collector.
No, I know he is, but I mean, there are 3 volumes of Spider-Man 20. Well, technically there's a 4th, but the 4th was only like 1 book run.
All right, I see you teasing over there, Doc. What you got?
So switching gears here, we did the prehistoric, primordial, gold key, Turok. I love my Turok, but later on, not so much. These next 2 characters I really enjoyed in the Valiant run and got me interested in these original characters. So I'll start with Dr. Solar, Man of the Atom. This is number 1, first appearance. Yeah. So this is an interesting comic. So this is 1962, which is when Gold Key started. This is the first original character made by Gold Key, 1962. So he's as old as Spider-Man. And it's a Dr. Solar.
So he's 18?
Yeah. So, and it's the first 2 covers were done by Richard Powers, and then he didn't do any more. But he was meant to be a non-costumed hero. And he was a typical nuclear accident, but then he got all the powers of the atom. So he's super powerful. This guy's, even back then, he was just made of nuclear energy. He could transmutate matter, super strong, everything. And sort of, if you've read Valiant, Dr. Solar is like an uber powerful hero. Absolutely.
And the cool thing about that cover too is it seems like the old sci-fi movie posters of that time.
Oh yeah, it's so sci-fi, 1962. And it has a sort of, I call it sort of version because you do have a little writing up here, but with as they're wont to do with Gold Key. And the Dr. Solar in Valiant was actually a character who got powers a similar fashion. And he used to read this comic and he liked Solar. So he just became Solar because he liked reading the Gold Key comic. So
Nice.
interesting
Very
continuity.
Flash-esque.
And one of the artists for the interior was Bob Fujitani, who died 2 years ago. He was 98 years old. He did a lot of Golden Age comic art. Eerie #1, which is considered the first pre-code horror. Bob Fujitani did that cover. So a pretty famous, well-regarded artist and Japanese descent to boot. So that's that. Here's Solar #2. So similar artist style. You can see he's in a lab coat. He turns green when he uses his powers.
Wow. Very nuclear age. Colors.
Oh yeah, you got the atomic bomb going off in the. It's not as clear there, but atomic bomb cover, which is one of the things I like
Should
to
have called Godzilla.
Similar era,
right?
And
there you go.
So here's
Mark was Doc Solar versus Dr. Manhattan. Who you taking?
I'll go the OG Solar, but Manhattan's pretty powerful. Yeah, depends on the creative team. George Wilson. So George Wilson took over the covers at this point, and
that's
the color scheme.
Yeah, it's great. I love
how they're doing that in the back, where it's
yeah,
like
you
a virgin.
See just the art.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
They did that a lot with early Gold Key, and Solar lasted till he actually 1969 was his last comic, and then they rebooted him a little bit for Whitman in 1981, but didn't last very long. And then Valiant 1991. I don't know anything about Dynamite Studios or the Dark Horse versions of these comics. If anybody has an opinion, they can put it out there. I don't know. So this is his first appearance in costume. This is Solar #5. Unfortunately, I don't have #4, which is one of my favorite covers, but I haven't been able to find that one in a good grade.
That is
yet.
awesome.
And so the fans were writing in and complaining that they wanted him to be in a costume. So
really,
the Gold Key decided to relent and put him in a costume.
Nice.
And I don't have a huge amount of Solar. I'm looking to get more. And again, if you guys collect, anybody who wants to collect cool covers and a cool character that's not known, these are not expensive comics to get.
See, that gives them a very Flash Gordon, Buck Rogers feel on that one.
Yeah. So
did those fit? Did those fit in standard CGC slabs?
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
Well, you'd know if they were magazine slabs.
Yeah, they're not magazine. Oh, I love this cover, and this is Win Mortimer cover, and the clock, the electricity between his fingers. I just love this. The coloring. I mean, I would have been drawn to this cover if I was around in the 60s.
That is nice. And just in his powers, his flight pattern, just making the clock face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's some other, I wish I had some of the other covers. I have some raw books, but they're just.
Oh, you kind of open up another rabbit hole for me, you bastard.
Now that's the end of my Solar. So the next guy who I loved was
Magnus Robot Fighter.
Magnus Robot Fighter. So this is #1.
Yeah.
And this is Russ Manning did the first 12. Russ Manning did the art and the writing. And again, the Virgin.
Ooh,
now this is 4000 AD. Humans have gotten lazy and machines are doing all the work for them, and machines start actually sort of taking control and becoming.
I just don't see that ever happening.
And this is a homage to Isaac Asimov. Any Isaac Asimov fans? The 3 rules of robots, which is you're not to hurt humans, and the second one is you're to obey humans unless you're disobeying rule #1, and the third one is to defend yourself as a robot unless you're disobeying rule #1 and 2.
They follow Asimov. Yeah.
Isaac Asimov. Yep. And that was in here. So 1A is a beneficent robot who raised up Magnus and trained him, and he felt that robots were getting out of control. So he believed in the 3 rules of the robot.
Beating up robots were wearing a red dress.
It was 4000 AD. Don't that
Yeah.
was all the rage.
Shop, you're correct. I did get a copy of Solar from your mystery box, and it's actually the only copy I have thus far. But it's in my my short box out in the garage.
Ooh.
Number 2. And unlike Solar, which was just an homage for Valiant, he just sort of became Solar because he liked the comic. Magnus Robot continued from where this left off, and this ended. The original storyline ended, I think, 28, though it kept going in reprints till about comic 40, and then it disappeared and reappeared a little bit in the 1980s with Whitman publications. So
now, was he always a solo character, or did he have like his sidekick that was in every issue too?
He was always a solo character, but he did have a love interest named Legia, who was one of the senator's daughters, and she had some telepathic powers.
Oh,
I thought you were going to tell us that she's like a android or something. I was like,
nope,
yeah,
it wasn't
or a cyborg. It's just so
Magnus Robot Lover.
Oh,
yeah. Ooh, nice.
Oh man, I love giant robot covers.
Yep, and this is a great orange cover.
Holy cow!
Wow,
And,
ooh,
it's very reminiscent of one of the Forbidden Planet or Forbidden Planet comics covers. I remember I was chasing for a while that had a very similar giant robot stepping across the roadway and everything else.
If you like robot covers, Rob, you're gonna have to start getting some Magnus because that's all it is pretty much.
God damn! I have to get some stretchy pants.
Here's Legia in the front is
nice,
and this is an underwater scene. You got the got to have a shark in the background,
right?
The evil robot. Now this actually has a different back cover.
Ooh, yeah.
As opposed to the front.
I love the white boots with that's right there. You want to see what that is, guys? That is that outfit is very proto oh god, what's the Futurama captain's name? Zap Brannigan. Zap Brannigan wears the red tunic with the white boots and the form the ladies I've
Here is the only one that I know of that's actually not a painted cover. So they're almost all painted covers, but this is Russ Manning still. And overall, if these were the covers of Robot Fighter, you would not be watching me show them now.
Yeah, it's kind of like
I put it. I was tempted not to show it, but I was like, this really emphasizes how. There's a reason that was a one shot
and a fierce an homage or inspiration for the Fantastic Car on that cover.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's a sort of, I guess you could say it's a little more of a Fantastic Cars almost feels like there's nothing much more to it but a flying cup.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. You got a lot robots and insects.
Yeah. So he mostly fought robots, but he also fought some aliens and space pirates and various other, he couldn't just have robots every time.
You mean there wasn't a shortage of evil robots?
Humankind that they had relinquished their power to robots. So robots were good, and but they were starting to have too much autonomy and started to act too human. They started to act too human, dare I say.
Oh, nice.
A lot of great orange and yellow covers.
Now, is the back cover just the minimal stress on that? Nice.
Yeah.
I'm going to be poor for years.
There's so many rabbit holes in comics. It's like ignorance is bliss sometimes, I'll tell you.
Oh, that's a good action cover.
Yeah, it's a darker. It's all robots, Rob. I know you love it. Now we're going into the later era, so we're getting the 100 toy soldiers. Did any of you ever get these 100 toy soldiers? I
don't think
I
would say
actually-
not from the back of a comics, but
I managed to twist my mother's arm and actually get a few of these things. They were pretty poor quality when you
oh
actually.
yeah,
got
no,
them.
I usually had the ones that were at the drugstore or whatever in the little toy aisle, and there'd be a bag.
These were a lot smaller, and they were the thin plastic. They didn't stand up very well. They weren't nearly as big as the typical plastic soldier you bought at the store, like in Toy
Even
Store.
worse, huh?
They're very.
Now, with Magnus, did he have any superpowers that he was able to fight the robots with, or was he a regular human?
He basically could harden his skin to break. He was mostly martial arts trained, but he had some ability to actually break metal because 1A somehow trained him to do that. I'm not sure if there was some actual scientific way he made it, or was it just power the mind, harden your hand. I have no idea, but you could, for all intents and purposes, yes, that's a super. He definitely had the ability to break stone and metal with his hands, and because he was made to fight robots. And fight robots is what he did. And we got some gorillas in the background here too.
I was just looking at that. That's why I was like peering. I'm like, oh, gorillas.
I see some notes on the left-hand side. What is
this one? Says painted cover, back cover pinup. I don't know why they suddenly say that, because all the back covers were pinups. You know.
Rob, can you highlight the Jackson Roykirk statement for those?
Find it.
Years later, Valiant would make Magnus the son of a Harbinger couple who had power, so he's basically a mutant. Just good info. Now that's a great cover. That looks like a spy cover. You know, like that's a very James Bond cover.
Yeah.
Or Doc Savage.
I would say it's a dinosaur cover. You got a volcano in the background.
True.
It's good to know that 4,000 years in the future, they still had volcanoes.
They still have some volcanoes.
And they just built cities hovering over them.
Yeah.
Because what could go wrong?
Because why not?
Yeah. Alluding to Jackson Roykirk's, Jim Shooter really wanted it to keep to Magnus's sort of storyline, but Jim Shooter was booted out of Valiant around 1992, 1 year afterwards, and it started going way astray from the original Magnus sort of themos. But I like this comic. This screams 60s to me, 1960s. Ooh. That background, it reminds me of some record. I records I saw my dad had, even some record art.
That one screams Buck Rogers to me.
Yes, definitely. You have the weird propulsion chest thing, so I think that's supposed to be, I don't know if it has a weapon. I think that's,
it must be projecting some kind of aura around him, I guess, to protect him, because he's not getting no bubble helmet. I mean, granted the shorts and the everything else, but I mean, that was uncommon in the 60s for people to have bubble helmets to breathe under, but have loose fitting shorts and whatever else, or
you had
skirts.
to keep the style. You had to figure out the science to keep the style going. That's right.
But he's got a little bit of a halo around him, so maybe he's got some kind of energy shield.
No, that's exactly what it is. It's to
allow him to. He's pulling off a little Guardians of the Galaxy action there.
That's right. That would be good. Now this is a cool cover. It's a pink cover.
Ooh.
With the giant robot there, and
another one that screams 50s, 60s sci-fi movie poster.
Yep.
Huh. 9.0 to boot. Just go, by the way.
I know Doc has these all in, like, not only are they old and great, but they're also high grade.
Well, some of them, I would say my mid-grade is more mid to highish.
Well, that's high grade for that age, though.
That's true.
Dude.
The Mogul Badur. So you got the.
Looks almost
his Ming the Merciless in the back.
Yeah, we're both
merciless. And Russ Manning still at this point. He's coming back and forth.
Always watch out for the red robots.
You can actually almost get robot fatigue with these.
No. I think my wife's calling, though, telling me I can't have you on anymore.
No, I really love this cover.
He's transferring money from one account to the other right now, so Rob doesn't have access.
Yeah, this cover is one of my favorites. I don't know why. It's just he's pouring some molten metal.
Yeah,
just a giant robot. And I tried to get a 9.8 of this, but it went for almost $1,000. I was like, I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I don't like it that much more than the one I have.
Yeah.
So they were the Terminators before the Terminator.
That's right. That it's funny you say because I was trying to think what it reminded me, and Terminator was what I was trying to. That's exactly. So it's nice.
Yeah.
Why
around molten metal in shorts?
I would buy that. So my last one is actually a 9.8, and he's actually fighting 1A. It's number 28.
Oh, the one who taught him.
Yeah. Magnus battles 1A. It's a great.
You said 1A is the one who taught him how to fight, right?
Yep.
So what corrupted 1A to make him turn against him?
I'm not sure. I actually have the omnibus for this, so I should go back and read and remind myself. But it was a temporary glitch, I'm sure, and their buddies by the end, probably.
Now you notice in those eras too, the damsel in distress was usually laying down.
Yeah.
Like her legs just failed her at that point. She was so distraught.
So this was 1969. This is about when it was discontinued. He went up. This is when they stopped original stories. And after this, up until 40, it was all reprints. And then it disappeared in the mid 70s and reappeared briefly in the 80s.
But wow, a 9.8, that's amazing.
Yeah. And this is Mike Royer, sorry.
Jeez.
So, I enjoyed that Valiant series enough that I got back into the OG stuff, the Gold Key.
I mean, why not with most of those painted covers, which are just incredible?
Yeah, they're just great works of art and interesting comics. They're, who knows? I'm not a spec person, so I tend to doubt there'll ever be any kind of movie.
Well, me either. I just buy what I like.
Exactly. It's good stuff. Yeah, 1A slapped Legia. That's what Roy Kirk said.
Wow.
So yeah, that was to take a break from heavy duty comics, but I love these. Those
are heavy duty to me.
Me too. And I got those Turok when I started getting back into collecting. That was the first thing I sort of went through. It was just getting some cool Turok covers and.
But to me, that's the best thing about slabs, right? You're just slabbing stuff that means something to you, something that has. Yeah. It doesn't have to have monetary value. It just has to have meaning for you.
Right. So,
I mean, who wouldn't want to frame that kind of art?
And Rob, if you're actually trying to get these, your wife shouldn't be too mad because they really, unless you're going for a high grade, they're.
Oh, I'm fine going mid, fives to sevens, and that's what I did with my Space Cadet runs and my Spaceman and some of these other runs I go in, and it's like I'm not a grade snob anymore, especially on books that are pre-1975. Yeah. But wow. All right, guys. Well, I think smoke if you got them, man.
Yeah. Damn. It was a little different, but I think anybody who likes comics can appreciate those three.
No. Well, that's great. I mean, nobody wants to see the same books all the time. It's always good to bring something different to the table, gives people something new to look at. Like most of those covers I'd never seen, and it was a treat just to view them.
Yeah. I think there's different people have different. There's the superhero comics, but there's a lot of other stuff that's out there other than the superhero comics. So it's good to get to see some of those different books, even if they do kind of lean in. Maybe there's some crossover on some of them. Books sent to CGC don't have to be expensive books, just something that you love in your collection.
Absolutely.
Smoke if you got them. Yeah, because they're freaking great covers. Absolutely.
Just going with what Matt Wood says, I usually submit comics through a friend of mine at the LCS, and he'll be like, "You're not submitting this. This is not worth." And I'm like, I'm not submitting because I care about the investment or the money. I like this comic. I want it. I have to argue with him on multiple comics that I just love that aren't really worth submitting.
I had the same
money. Who cares?
I had the same thing with my guy, right? The owner that I'm friends with. He's like, "You sure you want to submit this?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm submitting it just for me." I'm like, "I'm not trying to resell this. I just love it."
Yeah. Yeah,
Well, we're
that's
having our
exactly the type of thing I hear from him too. Absolutely.
well, we're having our wrap up conversation a little bit here, guys. Go ahead and hit the hashtag robots. We're going to do ourselves another set of pulls out of the books here, and then Doc's got some pulls too, for a pull for you as well.
That's right.
Coming up this week, guys, if you're following me on my channel, Monday we have an AOK that starts off the worst. It's amazing, and in the end, it's all A-OK.
Nice.
So that's coming up on Monday. Then I'll have some CGC openings up on Thursday. Tomorrow, I will be dropping guys some of you guys have been pinging me about the next round of mystery boxes. I'm going to do a small run. It's an 8-box run. It's going to be an $80 mystery box and all raw comics, and with value of the mystery box is between $130 to $150 for an $80 mystery box shipped US. International, you get a $8 discount off of shipping because that's how much the US shipping is. So anyways, that is information that'll be dropping. Follow me on Instagram at robs.fatstax if you're interested in that mystery box. Other than that, we're getting our hashtags are getting there, 23 out of 32. Join us. I got one other thing that we'll talk about. I did recently partner, guys. This is not a sponsorship. Let me be clear with this. We're partnered up with the Rogue Trader. If you guys are looking for a presser, don't have one necessarily, want to have your books pressed, you can check out the roguetraderutah.com and use the code FatStax at checkout. He's got discounted bundled pressings there, and you get additional 20% off the discounted pricing. And when you do that, not only do you save 20%, but for every time the code is used, $10 is donated to the Comics Curing Cancer campaign in association with the American Cancer Society. So that's what we've partnered up to do. So again, the roguetraderutah.com, basically an 11-book pack with the 20% discount gets you down to about $10 cleaned and pressed for your books. So check it out. All right, let's go ahead and do ourselves our draw and see who's got the win. Everybody together. Wheel of Fish. Boom! Remy Q Studios. Well, in that case, we have to hit. Let's try to get Remy Q Studios. Yeah! Yeah! Congratulations, Remy. Since we hadn't used that yet today. All right, let's get Remy some books in here. Gary, you're gonna help Remy out here first. We're gonna do at least 6 books here, and what we need from you is to pick either a number from the front, a number from the back, or we'll give it the back to front action.
Well, I know that Remy likes to take 9 from the back, so let's go 9 from the back.
9 from the back. He gets. Oops, I'm not. Let me make myself.
And biggin yourself. There you go.
The Virgin variant for Cowboy Bebop #1. Dynamite Studios. There you go. All right.
All right, and let's do 9 from the front.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 from the front. God damn it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 10 grand. This is got a certificate of authenticity, Dynamic Forces here. This says 10 grand #1, one of a specially limited series of 4,000 copies. Congratulations.
All right, let's give Remy a little back and forth action.
All right.
And now.
Okay, in front or behind my finger?
Let's do both, and that'll be 3 and 4.
So we have the Amazing Spider-Man issue 50 from the Nick Spencer run, and we have a Firefly, David Nakayama incentive
That's
variant.
a nice Firefly cover.
Yeah,
Are those good comics? Do you know?
I do read this series, and I love
Because I love that series, and it makes me sad to think about it.
It picked up from where the movie ends.
Wow.
On the series, and they've actually gone now full circle. They just did a whole new. They just got done with the first arc, and now they've started called now All New Firefly. But basically, they pulled a Battlestar Galactica. They ended up going back to old Earth, and there's all kinds of cool stuff that happens. And I dig it.
I'm gonna have to put that up then because I love that series, the television series, so much. That
it's great. It's been a fun read, and so there's like 50 something issues out in the original series, not counting the other trades, but the Boom series has been good.
All right, let's see. I'm trying to get Remy a mug here. Let's do some more back to fourth action. See if we can hit a mug for Remy. And now, and there you go.
Major X issue 0.
I'm sorry for the Liefeld, Remy.
All right, last book.
All right. Let's see. Front to back. And now.
Front or back of my finger?
Front. Oh, no mug. That's a nice cover.
Yeah. Putting the boots on Destro's head. The IDW G.I. Joe. Chuck Dixon. Very good. All right.
All right. 1 through 18, Gary B. Pick 1 through 18. I'll start from here, counting that way.
Okay. 9.
All right, Remy, what do we got here? Whoa!
See what he gets.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Magnus Robot Fighter 7.0.
There you go.
Oh.
Enjoy that one, Remy. That's awesome.
That's appropriate.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Cool. Congratulations.
That deserves. Yeah! Yeah!
Well done. Well done.
Nice. Haha.
Very.
There, Remy. That was a good Golden Age cover.
Yeah, Rob's
congratulations.
Yep. Nice.
All right. So Doc, I'll send you Remy's information.
Sure.
So you can get that out to him. Guys, thank you all for coming on out and being a part of the show and watching with us. Next week on the show, we're going to have Ringo Award nominated comic book letterer Justin Birch coming on the show, making his first appearance on SlabHub. That's the name of my own show. I don't even know anymore. My goodness. One of those days. Trying to do too many things at once. All right. So anyways, thanks for coming on out. We much appreciate to all of you. Doc, thank you again for joining us.
Always a pleasure.
Guys, you're going to want to make sure that you are subscribed and you've hit that notification bell to this show, because let me tell you something. This summer is shaping up. It is going to be one hell of a ride. We are now booked out through August, and we have some really big hitters coming on with some amazing books. If you're a fan of some older books, this is going to be the place to be, without a doubt. We even had to bump Doc from one of his scheduled appearances to make room for some people. So if we're bumping Doc, you know it.
That's right,
yeah, exactly.
But
don't fear, he will still be coming on and joining us. Matter of fact, your next appearance is going to be on our 50th extravaganza, and that's going to be a big show. So
pull some big ones for that one.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. Doc and Gary, thank you for filling in for Chris, the comic vet. If any of you guys were wondering, again, Chris, he was taking underage comics across the border into the comic book fight club, but we can't talk about it because you don't talk about comic book fight club. Anyways, until next time, collect what you want. Don't listen to any of us, including myself, because I'm just a man with a fat stack of comics and a fat opinion. Thank you for watching. Need comic books pressed? Well, robfatstax and friend of the channel, the Rogue Trader, have partnered to fight cancer and provide you with a great deal. Whenever you order pressing services from the Rogue Trader's website, theroguetraderutah.com, and use the code FATSTAX at checkout, you'll receive 20% off your pressing purchases, even on already discounted multi-book bundles. In addition, each time the code is used, we'll make a donation of $10 to the C3 Comics Curing Cancer campaign in partnership with the American Cancer Society. It's a win-win. You get your books pressed, and we kick the butt of cancer.